Good evening, guys. Audible? Hi. So good evening, good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Vishal, Shubhangi. So everyone. So good evening, guys. I hope audible and visible, right? Okay, okay, fine. All good, Pawni. So all good, yeah. Okay, so today we'll be taking up a webinar on the international relation. It is completely based on the current affairs topic of what happened in the. So I and how many of you gave this year prelims? How many of you gave this year prelims and what was the result? Or say how many of you are giving this year mains? That's fine, Manoj. It's totally fine here. Okay. No issues, Chandrasekhar. It's totally fine. Okay, okay. Okay, how many of you are giving this year mains? Gayatri, that's okay here. Okay, Brajneet, okay, okay, Vishal, no issues. Okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Fine. Okay, so not an issue, guys. Not an issue. Yeah, good, good. So, but anyways, if you haven't cleared prelims, that's totally fine, man. So, first attempt, it's okay. Not a mistake. Yeah, okay. Okay, Muhammad Rezaidin. Okay, okay. That's fine, yeah. Okay, so don't worry about your prelims as such. Now it's a time. So for the people who are planning to give next attempt, see here, this is the time where you can utilize for your benefit. Say that is from say July, from here, from now till say September. So from now till September, this is the time where you can spend if you miss out this window, that is from July till September, if you miss out this window, what will happen is that the people who are giving this attempt, so what they'll do is that from October onwards, they'll again start preparing for the next year. So what happens is that between say July to September, if you are not serious and if you miss this window, you'll have to compete with the person who has already given one mains. So the advantage with that person is that they would have already given one mains and they will have experience. So if you have to compete with them, so this is the period, that is raised from July till September, you have to compete with them, or else it's going to be very difficult, guys. Okay. Giving second attempt, okay. So that's what pretty see again here. The game is, if you consider say this year prelims, the entire game revolves around your core subjects. So take this year prelims. How many current affairs question was there? How many current affairs question was there? So not more than say 10, 15. But how many core questions were from the core topics? Core topics in the sense, say your polity, economics, modern history, geography, environment. From many questions were there? Easily somewhere around 60, 65 questions were there. So the majority chunk is from your core subject. So if any candidate, just for the people who have already given one attempt, do one thing, take your own paper and see if you have got 80 percentage right questions, only 80 percentage right. I'm not talking about 100 percentage. Had you got 80 percentage right in polity, environment, modern history, geography, see whether would you clear this exam or not. So only 80 percentage, not even 100 percentage. So you'll easily clear the exam. So easily you would have easily got more than say 90 marks easily with only these targeting these five subjects. So that doesn't mean that you will ignore the other subject, but however, in order to clear prelims, the only thing is that focus on these five subjects. And again here, for your mains, you have to focus on your optional essay ethics, and you have say somewhere around 2 or 3 months. So the next 3 months, say starting from this July, August, September, in this 3 months, you have to focus. who have already given this prelims and couldn't clear. So please focus on optional essay ethics. So these are the three things that is going to fetch your marks, or so this is going to help you in clearing mains. If you are not thorough in optional essay ethics, clearing mains becomes very difficult. Fine. So focus on optional essay ethics. So these 3 months, if you have already given an attempt and if your classes are over, so please focus on optional essay ethics. Fine. So this is what you have to do for the people who have already given this attempt and couldn't clear. Fine, got it. Okay, chalo then. Let us start with today's session. So today's session, the first thing is that from yeah, the first and I'll use green color. I think that would be better. Yeah. Okay. So the first article is regarding of high sea treaty. So again, this article is important from your prelims perspective, mainly from your ecology angle is also there, but however from international relation, if you see the mains question as well as the prelims question, you can bring this angle. So what are the role India is taking up in at the international arena to portray India as a global leader. So in that angle, we'll article, that is India to ratify the high sea treaty. Fine. Okay, so see here. So the simple concept. Okay, for the people who are very new to this IR, or say who haven't completed say environment, just 1 minute listen to this one. So ratification. So in international relation, see here, in international relation, so there's a concept called a signing of agreement. If you should know this basics, only then you'll understand this entire article. So in international relation, there's a concept called as a signing and there's a concept called as ratification. Ratification. Understand this one. So what is signing in international relations? Signing means just showing interest. If PM Modi signs an agreement, it means that India is showing an interest. So now recently PM Modi visited Russia. So if PM Modi signs any agreement, it means that India is showing interest over there. And ratification means approval of that agreement. So it's something like this. Ratification is the final approval. Signing means we are just showing interest. Say if India signs some agreement in UNFCCC, so that doesn't mean that India has agreed to it. India is showing interest. That's it. Fine. So ratification means accepting that agreement, whatever that is there in the agreement. If we accept that, that process is called as ratification. So when we sign any agreement, it means that India is just showing interest. It is not bound to follow that agreement. So that is the basic thing that you have to understand. Okay, got it? Any Okay, the concept is very simple here. So, and one more basic thing you have to understand. Any doubt here? What is ratification and what is signing? Ratification is different. Signing is different. Signing means, say when you become IFS officer, foreign service. When you become IFS officer and you sign some agreement, it means that India is just showing interest in that agreement. So when this agreement is put in front of the parliament and parliament votes on this, then it means that India has ratified it. Ratification means completely approved that agreement. Fine. So and that is the basic thing. And another okay, Shubhangi, all clear, right? Okay. Another important thing that you have to understand here is that UNCLOS. So UNCLOS. Okay, UNCLOS agreement. So what is this UNCLOS agreement? So in UNCLOS agreement, there's something called as a high seas. So what is high seas over here? So UNCLOS is one international agreement. Please see here, UNCLOS, UNCLOS. This is one international agreement. So this agreement determines the jurisdiction of the seas across the littoral countries. So what is littoral country? Any country which margins with sea or ocean. So that is called as a littoral country. Say for example, country because India margins with your Bay of Bengal and your Arabian Sea. So that is here India is a littoral country. Afghanistan is not a littoral country because Afghanistan is a landlocked country. It has no boundaries with any of the seas. So littoral country means which has boundaries to any of the seas or oceans. So that is called as a littoral country. So again here, so in if you consider in India, so this is your Bay of Bengal, this is your Arabian Sea. How much of Arabian Sea belongs to India, or say how much of Bay of Bengal belongs to India? Does entire Arabian Sea belong to India, or say does entire Bay of Bengal belong to India? No. So how much of Arabian Sea belongs to India, or how much of Bay of Bengal belongs to India, is determined by an international agreement called as UNCLOS, UNCLOS. So this UNCLOS says that up to 200 nautical miles. So very good, Garima. So up to 200 nautical miles, up to 200 nautical miles from the boundary, that is India. That territory belongs to India. Beyond 200 nautical miles, say up to 200 nautical miles over here. So if you can consider say something here, so this is let us assume that this is 200 nautical miles. Up to 200 nautical miles, this territory belongs to India. Beyond that, it belongs to whom? It belongs to something called, it is called as something called as the high seas. So beyond 200 nautical mile, it is called as a high seas. And high seas belongs to whom? No one. It is a global common. High seas doesn't belong to anyone. It is a global common in the sense it belongs to everyone, not just one or two country. It belongs to everyone. Say beyond 200 nautical miles in Arabian Sea. Say this is Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea. Beyond 200 nautical miles, this belongs to everyone in the world. So beyond 200 nautical miles in Bay of Bengal, it belongs to everyone. So this is called as high seas. Any doubt over here? High seas. So any meaning, any doubt in the meaning of high seas? What is high seas? Beyond 200 nautical miles, it is called as high seas. Got it? From the territorial limit. Okay, fine, good. So this is the basic thing that you have to understand. So if you have to understand the entire concept of high sea, ratification of high sea treaty, so one thing is you should know what is ratification, and the next one is high seas. Okay, fine. So what is this concept all about? Why are we signing this high sea treaty? So what is the importance of this high sea treaty? So the importance is that since I hope everyone have understood this concept, right? This high sea, and high sea belongs to whom? It belongs to whom? It belongs to everyone. It belongs to global common. Then who has to monitor high seas? No one is monitoring high seas. So hypothetically assuming that, hypothetical, again, this is hypothetical way, if India goes and dumps some waste over here, so some assume that it's a radioactive waste or say some random waste. If India, hypothetical condition, if India goes and dumps some waste over there, so who will control? No one will control. No one can even question, because that's a global common. So global common, it belongs to everyone. So it is like a public space. So no one say it's something like this, or in a public road, if someone spits, so it's only the at least in public road you'll have some authority governing. In high seas, there's no one governing. So this high seas, no one is governing over there. If someone comes and dumps some waste over there, there's no one to question them. So the problem is that, so the problem in UNCLOS was that there was no governing agency for this high seas. As a reason, this high seas was highly misused in terms of dumping of waste, in terms of all sorts of illegal activities, drug trade, in terms of pirates attack. So in terms of all arms trade, all the illegal activities were going on in the high seas, because no one was there to control. Now under this high seas treaty, all the countries have come together. Like how, please see here, like how UNCLOS, in UNCLOS all the countries have come together in order to determine the territorial jurisdiction in the war in the ocean or seas, right? Similarly, so who has to control this high seas? A new treaty has been formed, so that is called as your high sea treaty, for which India has also accepted, and India is going to ratify this one. Fine. So got it. Any doubt in here? And what is the issue? The problem is that the why we require high sea treaty. The problem is that this global sea, the global commons, which is not being monitored at all, which is not being controlled by anyone. So this is being misused, say in terms of over exploitation, that is excessive fishing, dumping of waste, dumping of oil, dumping of crude oil, illegal activities like drug trade, arms trade, etc. Illegal activities were going on. So in order to control that, so we have this high sea. So what is the solution? The solution is high sea treaty. So this is the solution. And why exactly high sea matters? What is the reason why high sea is so important? It's fine, right? Say see, let us consider something like this. So this is your Bay of Bengal. This is your 200 nautical miles. If someone comes and dumps a waste over here, ठीक है ना? This is like 200 nautical miles away from India. What will happen? So nothing will happen, right? So if you consider, say, this is your Africa. So this is your Africa, and this is your Indian Ocean. Say somewhere someone comes and dumps huge waste over here. This is very far away from Africa. This is very far away from India. Very far away from Australia. So this side we have Australia. Fine. So this place, no one lives there. So it's okay, right? We can go and dump the waste rather than having this waste management infrastructures in India. So we can go and dump at a very far distance, right? So why high sea is so important? High sea is very important because it is biologically important. It is from marine ecosystem. It is like super important. High seas are like super important. If there is any destruction to the marine ecosystem in high seas, that will get affected to the entire ocean. So high seas, why high seas is important? Because it is kind of a biodiversity hotspot. High seas has huge amount of reserves, biodiversity reserves. So as per UNCLOS, see here, as per UNCLOS, we are just monitoring 200 nautical miles. It's just 200 nautical miles, only 200 nautical miles from the territory, from the baseline, just 200 nautical miles. Beyond 200 nautical miles, it's not even 2% of the seas, and UNCLOS doesn't even monitor 2% of the world's sea. So if it's something like this, let us assume that the area of world's ocean is say 100 acre. So UNCLOS monitors just 200 acres, sorry, just 2 acres. Remaining 98 acre is being unmonitored. So no one monitors that 98 acre. So this high sea treaty will be monitoring this remaining part. Are you getting this? So why high sea is important? Understood. Any doubt over here? So one high sea is one thing, one reason why high sea is important is because biodiversity hotspot is rich in terms of biodiversity. And the second reason why high seas are important is that it acts as a carbon sink. See here. See, currently we are generating a lot of greenhouse gas, that is your carbon dioxide. So we are emitting a lot of carbon dioxide, of which what are the carbon dioxide that we are emitting? So 26 percentage of the carbon dioxide is being absorbed in the ocean. So 26 percentage, say if we are emitting say 100 kg of carbon dioxide, 26 kg of carbon dioxide gets absorbed into the ocean. So because 26 kg of carbon dioxide gets absorbed in the ocean, the atmosphere, we all know that, right? Carbon dioxide traps heat. So in this room, if I have more carbon dioxide, the temperature of this room will increase, because that's the nature of carbon dioxide. It traps heat. Say in Bangalore, if I have more carbon dioxide will trap a lot of heat and it will increase the temperature of Bangalore. But same thing will happen in the earth. So in the earth's atmosphere, if I have more carbon dioxide, the earth's atmospheric temperature will increase. But what's happening is that whatever the carbon dioxide that we are emitting, 26 percentage of it is being absorbed by the ocean. So as a reason, the overall temperature increase of the atmosphere is declining, is not growing at a faster rate. Had it been that ocean is not there, So even this 26 percentage of carbon dioxide would be there in the atmosphere, and it would increase the temperature in a much faster way. But since the 26 percentage of carbon dioxide gets absorbed into the ocean, so it's good, so it's something good. So again here high seas is good because it is very important, because it acts as a carbon sink. So whatever the carbon that we are emitting, that gets absorbed into the high sea. Again, high sea regulation is very important, and high sea acts as a carbon regulation. It's an important entity in carbon regulation. And the next reason why high seas are important is that, so next reason why high seas are important is that it is a main source for, is a main economic resources. So what are the economic resources that are present in high seas? One is fishery. See here, majority of the ocean is high seas. Only 2 percentage of the ocean comes under UNCLOS. Remaining 98 percentage of the ocean is high seas. So majority of the ocean is high seas. So that is where all the fishing takes place. So if that is a place where all the majority of the fishing takes place, we should be regulating it. But till now no one was regulating. So this high sea treaties ensures the regulation in the high seas. Again here, economic resource and economic resource, the one of the main this thing main economic activities in high seas is fisheries. Another main economic activities is shipping routes. So if you consider India, so how much percentage of Indian trade goes via water, that via water in the sense via marine route? How much what's the percentage, what's the percentage of India's trade goes via marine route? What is the percentage? Yeah, it's more than 90 percentage. It's in fact it's beyond 95 percentage. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we are talking about the by volumes. So more than 95 percentage by volume of India's trade. If India is trading 100 kgs, 95 kgs is via marine route. So marine route, majority of the marine route is your high seas. So this is the next important reason. That is, shipping routes are the next important reason. So why high seas is an economic resource. And in the current times, we are also seeing high seas as a potential source for mineral deposits. See, in your geography class you would have learned about the mineral, the polymetallic nodules that are found in the ocean floor. See, in the ocean floor also, like how you get minerals, how you get minerals in the soil, in the rocks. Similarly, in the on the ocean floor also, we have a lot of minerals. In the recent times, this is not a very old thing. So in the recent times, we are exploring the mineral deposits on the ocean floor. Why are we doing it? Because we humans have exhausted the mineral resources on land. So it is not viable as now if we have to dig further deep, it is not viable. So we are finding an alternative. The alternative is sea. In high seas we have huge amount of mineral deposits. So that's good for us. That's we can explore those minerals. So these are the economic resources of your high seas. So these are the economics. So high seas is very important from various perspective, be it from your economic resources, or say be it from your fishery, shipping routes. From these perspective, high seas are very important. Now let us go and see what is exactly there in your high sea treaty. Understood till now? Any doubt here? Till now, all doubts are cleared. So what is high sea? Why high sea is important to us? Now let us see what are the nuances, or say what are the provisions in the high sea treaty. So what are the provisions? So the provisions, or what are the objectives of this high sea treaty, is that conservation and protection of the high sea. See, the main reason why we are having this high sea treaty is that, I am repeating, UNCLOS doesn't monitor the seas beyond 200 nautical miles. So UNCLOS doesn't monitor. So beyond 200 nautical miles, who monitors? Till now, no one is monitoring. So as a reason, it was being highly misused. Now this high sea treaty aims to monitor the high seas. So high sea means beyond 200 nautical miles. So again here, what are the objectives of this high sea treaty? One is conservation and protection of the high seas. And the reason why we have to conserve and protect the high seas, we saw earlier, it's rich in biodiversity, it has a lot of economic resources. Because of that, we have to protect the high seas. And in how do we conserve and protect the high seas? We can establish something called as a marine protected area. So what is this marine protected area? So what is marine protected area? Any idea about marine protected area? Acha, theek hai. What is protected area? On land, what is protected area? So this is your national park, wildlife sanctuary, right? In your environment, you would have read, right? What is protected area? National park, wildlife sanctuary, biosphere reserves. These are the protected areas where we take extra measures to protect the biodiversity in that region. On the same lines, this high sea treaty wants to establish something called as a marine protected area. So what is this marine protected area? Same thing, like dedicate one big area in the high sea and protect that area. What happens in a national park? So in national park, the government will delineate one part of the forest into national park, and it will ensure that the animals, the trees, the vegetations in this region doesn't get affected. Similarly, high sea also wants to do the same thing. So that is called as your the conservation and protection of the high seas. And the next one is equitable sharing. So equitable sharing of the resources. So high sea is a global common, right? It doesn't belong to anyone, it belongs to everyone, every country. Even Afghanistan, which doesn't have any border, also has rights in Bay of Bengal beyond 200 nautical miles. So please see here. So this is your India, so this is your 200 nautical miles. So beyond 200 nautical miles, this part of Bay of Bengal, who owns this part of Bay of Bengal? No one. It's a global common. Even Afghanistan, which doesn't have any boundary to any of the seas, even that has rights. So this is a global common. Fine. So and equitable sharing. So what are the benefit that comes from this global common? That has to be equitably shared among the countries. It has to be shared fairly. So that is one aspect of this high sea treaty. And the next aspect of high sea treaty is that environment impact assessment should be made mandatory. So in the high seas, see here, beyond 200, please everyone focus here, beyond 200 nautical miles in Bay of Bengal, if India wants to dig, or say if India wants to explore some mines, or say some India wants to explore some minerals in the sea floor. So what India can do is that India can if India has technology, India can do it. But however, as per this high sea treaty, if we have to conduct some infrastructural development or some mining activities in the high seas, there has to be environment impact assessment, like how we have environment impact assessment in India to for every developmental project, for most of the developmental project. Similarly, we should have an environmental impact assessment at the high seas. If any country is developing some infrastructure in the high seas, there has to be one environmental impact assessment in order to find out what could be the, or say what could be the probable impact of that developmental project on the high seas. And the next one is, and the last objective of this high sea treaty is that capacity building. So capacity building in terms of helping our nations in helping other nations in terms of research and benefits from the ocean resources that is found in the high seas. So these are the broad objectives of your high seas treaty. And this high sea treaty is similar to that of your Paris agreement. So what exactly did we do in Paris agreement? Can someone tell? So Paris agreement deals with what? So Paris agreement deals with what? So it's about climate change, right? So in order to have Paris agreement, very good, very good. So Paris agreement deals with climate change, so very good. So similar, so climate change similar to Paris agreement, this high sea treaty also aims to protect the marine ecosystem. Paris agreement is an environmental agreement, right? Similarly, high sea treaty is also more of an environmental agreement. So it is not that, like say if you see UNCLOS, see here UNCLOS, UNCLOS is a political agreement. So political agreement in the sense it shows the jurisdiction of each country in the marine waters. So what is the jurisdiction of India in Bay of Bengal in Arabian Sea? That is determined by UNCLOS. UNCLOS is a political agreement, but whereas your High Sea Treaty is an environmental agreement. Environmental agreement here, High Sea Treaty doesn't deal with any of the political aspect as such, that is who is going to own high sea section, nothing. So high sea treaty is more to do with your environmental agreement, in the sense in the sense how do we protect the high seas. So that is the angle of your high sea treaty. So this same as that of your Paris agreement. Paris agreement is something like your environmental agreement, right? That is to control the climate change or the global warming. So similarly, so there are very much similarities found between your Paris Agreement and your High Sea Treaty. So what are the similarities? The one is it addresses the global commons. So again here, this atmosphere belongs to whom? So this Earth's atmosphere belongs to whom? It's a global common. It isn't. It's not that it this belongs to say China or say India or US or any other country. This atmosphere belongs to global common. So Paris Agreement deals with global common, that is atmosphere. So similarly, this high sea belongs to whom? That is beyond 200 nautical mile. 200 nautical mile. It belongs to whom? No one. It's a global common. So similarly, high sea treaty also deals with global commons. And the next one is it's a landmark agreement, because this high sea treaty has been going on since multiple decades. So because UNCLOS was there in 1987, after that people haven't taken any efforts to monitor the high seas. So this high sea treaty has been negotiated for multiple years, and finally it has come to one conclusion where India is ready to ratify. And the negotiation was very long, so it took multiple years to negotiate. Similarly, your Paris agreement. So Paris agreement took almost say 12-13 years to negotiate and finalize. So similarly, your high sea treaty also took a long duration to negotiate and finalize. So this is the similarities between your Paris Agreement and your High Sea Treaty. Now let us see what is India's role. So why India is concerned about this. So why India? What was India's role in this High Sea Treaty? So since the initiation of this concept of High Sea Treaty, India was a member of this one. India was actively advocating for the protection of the high sea. See again here, no matter which government comes and which government goes, India's principle has always been protection of the environment. So we are still a Gandhian nation. So it doesn't matter which government comes and goes, we are still a Gandhian nation, and we believe in the protection of the environment. So since the beginning, we have advocated for this treaty, and we have participated in the negotiation of this high sea treaty. That is since the beginning we have participated in this negotiation of this high sea treaty. And then what happened? Finally we have signed and ratification. So we have already signed the agreement, we are yet to ratify. So ratify in the sense we'll put it in the parliament, that is the government will put it in the parliament and the parliament will accept it. So if the parliament accepts it, it means that India has ratified the agreement. Ratified means agreed. So signing means showing interest, ratifying means agree. Say if Prime Minister Modi signs the agreement, that doesn't mean that India has agreed to it. No, Prime Minister Modi has to ratify the agreement. Ratifying means India is accepting, or say India has agreed to the agreement. Fine. So signing means just showing interest. If Prime Minister Modi signs any agreement, it means that he is showing interest in that agreement. So India has already signed this treaty, High Sea Treaty, and India is about to ratify it, and it will do it. So we are about to do it. And what's the significance for India? There's a lot of significance. The first thing is that we'll have a potential. It has a high potential for scientific research. Now that high sea comes under proper regulation, so what would happen is that all the countries can come together focus on scientific research, and your high sea has rich amount of mineral deposits that could be accessed. The resource could be accessed if all the countries come together. And again, protection of marine diversity, marine biodiversity can be taken, because now that high seas will get will be properly monitored and controlled. So but has this treaty being enforced, or has been enforced? No, till now this treaty has not been enforced. For in order for this treaty to get enforced, there is some minimum criteria is there. So the minimum criteria is that 60 countries 60 countries should ratify this. So when the 60 countries ratify this, so this treaty will get automatically enforced. So till now 60 countries has not been ratified. India will ratify it, because India has openly told it that will ratify it. So when 60 country ratifies this treaty, this treaty will get enforced, and then the high seas will get controlled and monitored by the international organization. So this is the basics of your high sea treaty. So whether the high sea treaty is good or bad, so conclusion, high sea treaty is very good. Like how your Paris agreement, at least it gives some broad idea regarding how to control the greenhouse gases. Similarly, this high sea treaty will give you a broad framework regarding how to control the also control and monitor the high seas and its exploration. So again here, this high sea treaty, it's very much balanced, in the sense it also promotes economic exploration of the high seas. At the same time, it also promotes the conservation of marine biodiversity. It is not tilted towards one. It is not tilted towards over protection of the high seas, or say over exploitation of the economic resource of high seas. No, it is completely balanced. So in a way, high sea treaty is a very good it's a very good step in protecting the high seas. And India's participation in this treaty was very important, because India negotiated for this balancing between your protection of the high seas vis-a-vis the exploitation of high seas. So this was the advantage, and India played a very crucial role in framing this policy. Now let us take up one. Now let us take up one question, prelims question. Can we solve this one? Rashida, till now, High Sea Treaty has not been enforced. So when 60 countries ratify, so okay, so good. So B is the answer. So statement one is wrong. High Sea Treaty is aimed at reducing pollution and conserving biodiversity in the ocean waters. It's not within exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone is before 200 nautical miles. High Sea Treaty focuses beyond 200 nautical miles. Fine. So this statement is wrong. Statement one is wrong. So you already get the answer. Okay. So we'll take up the next article. So recently there's some good news for India, because India was one of the founding members of BRICS. So BRICS is a regional grouping of the emerging economies. So I'll again repeat what is emerging economies. Please see here. What is the meaning of emerging economies? What is the meaning of emerging economies? Can someone tell? Emerging economies. Okay, so emerging economies, a simple definition. Emerging economies in the sense the economies whose per capita income is increasing, or so whose disposable income is increasing. So this is your emerging economies. So whose economic growth is there, whose simple definition, whichever countries whose per capita income is increasing or say disposable income is increasing, that's an emerging economy. So if you consider India, so in India, say earlier the salary was say 30,000, so average salary. So now the average salary, if it goes to say 40,000, so what would happen? It's an emerging economy. So the disposable income, it will go high. If the disposable income goes high, so what will happen? I will start at demanding. Say, assuming that earlier my salary was 30,000, so last year's salary was 30,000. This year's salary is 40,000. So what will I do? I have got 10,000 extra. So what I'll do is that I'll buy more products. So if I buy more products and services, I'm going to demand more in the economy. If I demand more in the economy, supply will increase. Are you getting this? Say this year your salary is 1,000 rupees. Next year, if your salary is 10,000 rupees, you will start buying more products and services. So as a reason, the demand increases. If the demand increases, the supply will also increase. This is an emerging economy. Fine. So again, BRICS is a region grouping of emerging economies where India was the founding members. For India was a founding member. So now we have multiple members. Earlier we had just BRICS. So BRICS, BRICS. Earlier we had only BRIC, the BRIC. That is your Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So earlier only four countries were there. When BRIC was formed, earlier only four countries were there. So that is your Brazil, Russia, India, and China. But however, later on, your South Africa joined to this region grouping. And last year, so in the sense last year or so this year officially, few of the African countries and Middle East countries joined. So be it your Ethiopia or say Egypt, etc. They joined BRICS, and currently few Southeast Asian countries also wanted to have shown some interest in joining to BRICS. So this is the overall context of this article. Understood. See here, so this BRICS is a regional grouping of the emerging economies. So initially only four countries were there. So that is your Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So later on, your South Africa joined this grouping. And last year, few countries from Africa and Middle East, they joined into this grouping. Currently, two countries from the Southeast Asian region wanted to join in this group. So this is the article. Now the question might now you might think that why countries wants to join in BRICS? What is so special over here? So why did countries like say Ethiopia or say your Egypt or say UAE, why did these countries join into BRICS? Or say why did South Africa join into BRICS? So initially, BRICS was formed by only four countries, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China. And why did South Africa join? Why did few African countries and Middle East countries join? And why few other Southeast Asian countries are willing to join into the BRICS? So what is so special about BRICS? That's what we'll be analyzing in this article. Fine. Okay, so again here, so some other Southeast Asian countries are showing some interest to join BRICS. Mainly two countries, that is your Malaysia and Thailand. But however, other countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, they are also showing interest. But however, Malaysia and Thailand are proactively showing interest. In fact, they have also applied to join BRICS. So we haven't formally accepted Malaysia and Thailand, but they have shown complete interest and they have all kind of applied to for the membership of BRICS. So now let us see what exactly is BRICS. So BRICS earlier, so as I told earlier, it's an acronym of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So earlier it was called as BRIC, BRIC. When South Africa joined, so we started calling it as BRICS. So this is the earlier version of BRICS. And the original purpose, so the original purpose of formation of BRICS was that we should have a regional grouping of the emerging economies in order to discuss the economic agendas and political agendas of the of international importance. See, one thing you have to keep in mind is that on one side we have this emerging, please focus here, on one side we have emerging economies like India, Brazil, Russia, etc. So these are your emerging economies. On the other side we have developed economies. Which are the developed economies? Say say USA, all the North American, like USA, Canada, Europe, Australia. So these are the developed economies. These developed economies kind of dominate the international forum. So be it your IMF, World Bank, WTO, these are the international agencies in which these developed countries are dominating. So mainly US and Europe, European countries are dominating this international agencies or the international platform. There's no proper platform to put our voice. So our voice in the sense the emerging countries voice. So Russia, Brazil, India, China. So we are the emerging economies. We felt that our voice is not being heard in the international forum. So what do we do? So we formed a group. So that group was known as your BRIC. And later on, your South Africa thought that chalo, this is a good organization because population, if you consider the population, two biggest populated country, Brazil and China are China and India are on the same platform. So again here all the four countries are emerging. So South Africa thought that it's a good platform. So to raise the voice of the emerging economies, South Africa also joined. And later on last year, so what happened was that, say, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi, UAE, so these are the countries, they also joined this BRICS. So after joining, after these countries joining BRICS, that is Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, etc. After these countries joining BRICS, we did not change the name. So when earlier, when it was BRIC, when South Africa joined, we changed it to BRICS. Fine. So now after these countries joining into BRICS, we haven't changed the name. So this is the basics of your BRICS. And again here, if you have to analyze, if you have to dissect BRICS by numbers, so from the numbers, from the numerical perspective, your BRICS countries refers. So now currently BRICS has, so these are the countries, BRICS are the members of BRICS. That is your Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and along with this, we have Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi, UAE. So these are the new countries that have joined this year. That is from the first of 2024. So 1st January 2024, these countries also joined BRICS. So if you see the numbers, so numbers if you see here, this BRICS represents almost 45 percentage, or so you can consider almost 50 percentage of the world's population is represented in the BRICS. Almost 50 percentage is represented in the BRICS. And again here, the combined economic value is approximately $30 trillion. $30 trillion is a big number. So $30 trillion, of which the major contribution is from your China. So majority contribution is from your China. And again, if you see the influence perspective, again there's a growing geopolitical begin growing geopolitical cloud mainly by China, Russia, and India. So these are the countries which have a big geopolitical cloud, and it aims to act as an alternative to the Western dominated institutions. Western dominated institutions are like your, say, IMF, World Bank, WTO, etc. These are the Western dominated institutions where mainly US and European countries dominate. So this is the by number game also. This has more dominant, that is the BRICS countries almost represents 45-50 percentage of the population, and the economic size is over $30 trillion. So that's a big number. So it's these are the advantages of BRICS. And why this Southeast Asian countries, like say your Thailand and why Thailand is so much interested, or say why Malaysia is so much interested into BRICS? What's the reason? The reason is that this Southeast Asian countries like your Thailand, Malaysia, even Indonesia also is also planning to enter into the BRICS. So what is the reason why the Southeast Asian countries are trying to become a member of BRICS? The reason is that a lot of economic opportunities will be there. Since these are the emerging economies, BRICS countries are emerging economies, in the sense the disposable income is increasing. the money supply is increasing in the economy. So as so the demand will be more. If the demand will be more, these countries can supply their goods over here. It's something like this. In India is an emerging economy, in the sense our salaries are growing. If our salaries are growing, we will obviously start demanding more goods and services. Then your Southeast Asian countries, like say your Thailand or say your Malaysia, they can supply goods and services to us. Because my income is increasing, I will demand more goods and services. Your Malaysia and China, your Malaysia and Thailand, so they have good opportunity. They can supply their goods and services. So it will ultimately benefit them. So they have a very good economic opportunity. That is, BRICS is attractive because these countries are emerging. Say if you consider the developed countries, say like your Japan or say your Germany, France, these are kind of saturated countries. In the sense their economy is almost saturated. So Japan's economy is almost saturated. The economy, the income has almost saturated. The income is not growing as such. So growing as such in a sense, very marginally it is growing. So it's almost saturated, and the population is also kind of declining over there. So the demand is very less in say Japan or say France, Germany, etc. Italy also for that matter. So it's more or less saturated. But whereas these BRICS countries, again here the demand, it's an these are emerging market. So it's a very good economic opportunity for the Southeast Asian countries, not just for Southeast Asian countries, various other countries. That's the reason why your Egypt or UAE, Ethiopia, they joined into BRICS. The reason being that it's an emerging market, so they will also get advantages of it, of this one. So increased trade and investment potential, increased trade and investment potential is there. And the next one is new market, new market, access to new market. So again, if Southeast Asian countries join BRICS, they get access to this new market in the sense it's an emerging economy. All these BRICS countries are their economy is increasing. It's a new market, so they will get an opportunity. And again, technology transfer. Again here, these are the emerging economies where research and developments are going on. So technology transfer can also take place, digital economic growth can also take place, and India is one of the pioneer countries in terms of digital technologies. It can also, digital technology economic growth will also take place, and investment will also can happen. Because because these are the emerging economies, so money is there, money flow is there, so investment can also happen. So in important sectors like say manufacturing sectors or say agriculture sector, investment can also happen. So this is your economic opportunity. It is not just economic opportunity. Your BRICS also has this provides us geopolitical opportunities also, geopolitical consideration. So what are the geopolitical consideration? BRICS now represents almost 45 percentage of humanity. 45 percentage of the global population is represented by BRICS. So if Southeast Asian countries become a member of this, it becomes a greater voice in the international forum or say international affairs. We can counter the dominance of the West. So currently, the almost all the international agencies are dominated by the West, right? So mainly by the US and European countries, it is being dominated. Now if we have the number with us, that is if we have the population number with us, we can counter, that is the BRICS can counter the Western dominance. And the next one is strengthening ties with China. See, whether you like it or not, whether India likes it or not, China is will be the next superpower. So it by 2030 or say 2032, China's economy size will be bigger than USA. So there's no way we can, or no way we, not just we, no way anyone can stop China. So China is a rising power, so no one can stop that one. So since China is a member of this BRICS, these Southeast Asian countries feel that China will be the next superpower. So by 2030 or say 2035, China's economy will be the largest economy. So China will be the superpower. So these Southeast Asian countries think that, or say, not just think that, that's a reality. So these Southeast Asian countries, when they join BRICS, they will become the close partner of China, which will be the next which will be the next superpower in the coming 10 years. So again, this advantage, the advantage is that China is a member of BRICS. Because China is a member of BRICS, if these countries become a member of BRICS, they will become close ally to China, and that will have advantages to them. And the next one is diversification of partnership. Currently, if you see the Southeast Asian economies, they are closely aligned with US. So now if they come to BRICS, they can diversify their partners. So they can have contacts with South Africa, they can have contact with BRICS, Brazil, they can have contact with Ethiopia, Egypt, UAE, etc. So again, geopolitical aspects also it is going to help. And what are the countries, so which are the countries now they have applied for the membership? There are two countries, that is your Malaysia and Thailand. The Malaysia and Thailand, these are the two countries that have applied for the membership. And again here, these two countries, have a very close ties with China. So both Malaysia and Thailand have a very close ties with China. And if you consider, say, China has been the largest trading partner with Malaysia for the 15 years. And again here with India also, currently as on date, China is the largest trading partner. So earlier it was US, now we have China. So all this boycott China, everything that is there, that's aside. But like with similar with Malaysia, similar to Thailand, even with India also, China is the largest trading partner. So again, if these countries are a member of that is Thailand and Malaysia, if they are a member of BRICS, it's going to benefit. It's going to benefit BRICS. It's going to benefit Malaysia and Thailand also. So these are the countries that they have applied, that is Malaysia and Thailand. But however, there are also potential applicants to our potential applicants from ASEAN or say Southeast Asian countries. Which are the potential applicants for BRICS? One is your Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Even Indonesia is also applying. But however, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, they are also interested in becoming a member of BRICS. Again, the reason, as I told earlier, it's same as that of your Malaysia and Thailand. They want to have a good relation with China is a big pulling factor. So why people want to become a member of BRICS? One of the important reason is that China is there. China is the pulling factor. China will be the next superpower in next 10 years. China will be the superpower, in the sense China's economy will be much bigger than US. So China will be the superpower. So if these countries become a close partner of when China becomes a superpower, they will have a good benefits from China. So this is the advantage. And again here, strengthening a good relation with China, India, and Russia. So it will also have economic benefit, that is boosting trade, investment, etc. So these are the economic benefit that these countries will get. The conclusion is that it is beneficial for having Southeast Asian countries into BRICS. That's the BRICS. The current BRICS members will also get benefit if the Southeast Asian countries join BRICS. That is Malaysia, Thailand. If they join BRICS, the current Southeast Asian countries, the current BRICS member will also get benefited. At the same time, these countries will also get benefited. So it is a win-win situation. So if the Southeast Asian countries join BRICS, it's a win-win situation for us. So this is the conclusion of this BRICS article. Fine. Okay. So kindly solve this one. Yeah, good. B. So Malaysia and Thailand, they are not a member, boss. They are not a member. Okay, they are applying. So as of now, they are not officially become a member. Okay. Okay, so statement 2 is right. So the answer is B. Fine. Okay, so we'll take up the next article. Simple article. Very simple article. So you would have noticed in the news that Prime Minister Modi visited Russia recently. Recently, in a sense, day before yesterday, day before yesterday he was in Russia. But however, when Prime Minister Modi was in Russia, US started raising concerns about this. So this article deals with the trilateral issues between India, Russia, and US. So why US is worried when India meets Russia, why USA is worried. So this article is about that. So we will analyze in detail about what is the issue with US. If India and Russia are becoming a close friend, or say we are signing some agreements, ठीक है? So why US is more bothered in this issue. So this is what we'll be analyzing, and what India should do. Is it a problem? So USA has openly told that they openly said that it is a concern that India is having close ties with Russia. US government has openly told this. So what would be the impact of this one? So will US have impose any sanction on India? Also, what would be the impact on this one? We'll be analyzing in this article. Fine. Again, here we'll go in detail regarding this one. So now everyone please focus here. So historically, historical in the sense, after the Second World War, so we had Cold War, right? So in this Cold War there was a tussle between your USA and USSR. So USA and USSR. So USA was promoting capitalism, whereas USSR was promoting communism. So this was the agenda. But however, in 1991, your USSR got completely disintegrated. So communism lost and capitalism started growing. But what happened? Putin came, and USSR got disintegrated, and we had only Russia. And Putin became the president in 2000, and again after that he started reviving Russia. So again, one of the main reason why USSR got disintegrated was because of USA. And Putin, when Putin became the prime minister, that is Vladimir Putin, when he became the prime minister, so again automatically there were US and USSR were age-old rivals. So when Putin started developing Russia, USA started creating some hurdles to Russia's development, and USA started controlling the surroundings of Russia through something called as a NATO. So NATO is a military alliance. So through NATO, USA started controlling the surrounding, or say, controlling the neighbors of Russia, so which Russia did not like. So again here, since 2000 onwards, there is a tussle, or say there's a tussle between your Russia and USA. So this is ongoing. So after World War, we had Cold War till 1991. Yeah, till 1991 we had Cold War. In this Cold War, the fight was between your US and USSR. In 1991, USSR got disintegrated. From 2000 we had Vladimir Putin. So this Putin, now after from 2000 onwards, there is a subtle there's a tussle between your US and USSR, US and Russia. So in this fight, so when India has started going closer with US, Russia has some problem. When India moves closer with Russia, USA has problem. So this is a trilateral issue. But however, India requires the support of both. India wants Russia also, India wants USA also. But if India moves closer to Russia, USA tells that it is a concern for them. When India moves closer to US, Russia starts engaging with Pakistan. So this is an issue that India is facing, and we'll see in detail. So what exactly happened now? So what happened was that, so Prime Minister Modi visited Russia for the first time after Ukraine war. So what is this Ukraine war? So Russia annexed Ukraine. So almost 20% of the Ukraine has been annexed by Russia. So the eastern part of Ukraine kind of is kind of under Russia's control. So but however, This Ukraine, see here again, this Ukraine wanted to be a part of NATO. This Ukraine wanted to be a part of NATO, and again, NATO is kind of headed by USA. So the leader, the USA is considered as a de facto leader of NATO. So NATO is a military organization, and if you see the world map, Ukraine is a neighbor of NATO. So Ukraine is a neighbor of Russia, and Ukraine wants to become a member of NATO. NATO is a military organization, and if Ukraine becomes a member of NATO, USA can put the USA can bring their military into Ukraine. It's something like this. Nepal, consider Nepal. Nepal is like your Ukraine, and it borders India, right? If Nepal becomes a close ally of China, and China would start putting their military in Nepal, then it's a threat for India, right? Similarly, Ukraine wanted to be a part of NATO, and Ukraine has borders with Russia. Ukraine started its membership process for NATO, which Russia did not like. So as a reason, Russia attacked. This is not the official version, but however, this is the main reason. Ukraine wanted to become a member of NATO. Russia attacked Ukraine, and now Ukraine is not moving that membership. That is the process for the membership of NATO. So almost 20% of the Ukraine has been eastern part of Ukraine has been acquired in the sense it is under Russia's control, not officially declared as such. It is officially a part of Ukraine, but however, this region is under Russia's control. So for the first time, Prime Minister Modi visited Russia after this Russia-Ukraine war. And again, there's an ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine where the Western countries, mainly the Europe and US, these countries are supporting Ukraine because Ukraine want to become a member of NATO, and this NATO is a military organization led by US, and the important members of here are your European countries. Ukraine wanted to become a member of NATO. Russia did not. Russia didn't openly tell that Ukraine should not be a member of NATO, but Russia indirectly annexed Ukraine in order to send a signal that Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be a member of NATO. So but Russia was successful in this. Now Ukraine has not moving its membership for NATO, so as of now, so it has stopped this membership process for NATO. So again here, but however, when Russia annexed this Ukraine, or say when Russia is attacking Ukraine, again, your western countries, your Europe and US, they are against Russia. When India started moving closer to Russia, so you all these Western countries, mainly US, they started showing concerns, or say started expressing concerns about India's relationship with Russia. So this is the basics of the issue that happened. But why Russia is important? See, US is showing concern. US is expressing concerns regarding India-Russia relation. Even European countries are telling that India should not have a good relation, or so India should not maintain relation with Russia. The reason is that Russia attacked Ukraine. But why India is having a relation with Russia? Why Russia is so important for India? So Russia is very important to India because historically we have a ties. So that is from 1971, Indira Gandhi period. So in Indira Gandhi period itself, India signed friendship treaty with Russia. When USA was supporting Pakistan, it was Russia who supported us. So that is one of the main reason why we won this 1971 war against Pakistan. So when no country was supporting India, it was Russia who supported India. So again here, Russia has given us nuclear technology. Russia is giving us a lot of defense equipments. So when all the countries stopped nuclear trade with India, it was Russia who gave us nuclear technology, and Russia helped us building the steel plants, the Bhilai steel plant in India that you have. So that was built by Russia. So again here, with the support of Russia. the nuclear plants that we have is being supported by Russia. So the defense equipments that we have, most of it is from Russia. Again, the submarine vessels, the submarines that we have is leased from Russia. So again, Russia historically, Russia has been a friendly country to us, and economic needs also. Russia is one of the largest supplier of natural gas, and the natural gas that we use, one of the largest supplier is Russia. So the biggest supplier is Qatar. So the next biggest supplier is Russia. Russia is one of the biggest supplier of natural gas, and Russia is also supplying us crude oil to us. So in every aspect, Russia is important for us. And whenever if there is any UN resolution that is passed against India, Russia vetoes it. So Russia doesn't allow United Nations to take any action against India. So Russia has been our friend since Indira Gandhi period. So that's the reason why even today, Russia is very important to us. But why US is showing concerns? The reason being that this Ukraine war. So if India and Russia is becoming closer, what's the issue with USA? So for USA says that because of this Ukraine war, Russia has annexed Ukraine, and USA tells that it is illegal to annex Ukraine. So whether it is illegal or not, it depends on from whose perspective are we seeing this concept of Russia-Ukraine war. Has India criticized this Russia-Ukraine war? Not openly. We are just telling that we have to maintain peace. So we haven't criticized Russia. So India hasn't criticized Russia in this aspect, because see, if we criticize Russia, what do we get? What will Ukraine provide us? Nothing, right? So again, that's the reason why we haven't criticized Russia. But official government of India stance is that we have to maintain peace. That's it. So maintain peace from both the ends. That is, Ukraine should also maintain peace, Russia should also maintain peace. That is our official stance. But we haven't criticized Russia. So this is our official stance. Even though there is Western pressure, so there is Western pressure on India to stop the diplomatic relation with Russia, but we haven't budged to the Russian pressure. We are still purchasing the crude oil from Russia. We are still engaging with Russia. So that is there. But what is India's response? India has told that we are maintaining the hyphenization policy. In the sense, we are balancing between India and Russia, and India and the Western world, or say India and US. So we are that is we are balancing between both the sides. That is, India also wants Russia, India also wants USA and the Western allies. So we are balancing this situation. So that's what we are doing. But it is actually a difficult thing, because it's a diplomatic challenge. On one side, Russia is criticizing India for engaging with Russia. On one side, sorry, US is criticizing India for engaging with Russia. Again, but however, that doesn't mean that we can completely boycott USA. USA is also one of the biggest trading partner of India. But we also require Russia. Russia is one of the important defense trade partner for India. It's Russia is one of the important defense trade partner, but USA is one of the important economic partner. So the first largest economic partner is US, China. Second largest economic partner is USA. But from defense perspective, Russia is one of the largest economic defense partner. So we, on one side we want economic growth, on one side we want protection. Russia is giving us defense equipment, USA is giving us economic trade. So we want both. So again, this is a diplomatic challenge that we have. And again, here we are maintaining strategic autonomy. That is, we don't want Russia to influence our foreign policy. At the same time, we don't want USA to influence our foreign policy. Our foreign policy will focus on our national interest. we also want defense security, we also want economic growth. Economic growth will be provided, we can get economic growth from USA, we can get defense security from Russia, so we want both. So that's what we are doing. So we are maintaining strategic autonomy. And again here, domestic consideration, so that is balancing the economic needs and public opinion. Again here, public opinion, if you see if you see the public opinion in India, so it's in favor of Russia. So India's public opinion is in favor of Russia always. So the reason being that it was Russia who supported us in 1971. So if you ask any person whether it is India versus Russia, so people would tilt towards Russia, because it was Russia who provided us security when it was highly needed. So 1971 war, Russia helped us. Russia helped us in the construction of Belaya steel plant. Russia helped us in nuclear plants. So Russia is helping us in defense equipments. So in various aspects, Russia is helping us. So it's a good thing. So public opinion is also in favor of Russia. And again here, regional dynamics. That is along with balancing between your USA and Russia, we have to also balance between China and USA. So this is also the balancing act that India has to do again here. But at the same time, India and USA also have a good relation. From US perspective, India is seen as a counterbalance to China. See, on the other side, see, on one side, USA has issues with Russia. Okay? On one side, USA has issues with Russia. On the other side, USA has issues with China. So with respect to Russia, when India is moving closer to Russia, USA hates India. So USA doesn't like India. So when India is moving closer to Russia, USA doesn't like India. But USA sees India as a counterweight or a counterbalance to China. So USA doesn't want China to rise. I would say China to grow, because China is an autocratic country, and China is known for its militarization of the South China Sea, and all its illegal activities under Belt and Road initiatives. So as a reason, USA doesn't want China to grow, China to rise and overpower USA. So USA considers India as a counterbalance to China. So in this aspect, so with respect to China, USA is India's favor. So with respect to Russia, USA is not in India's favor. So this is the factor with USA. And again here, in recent dynamics, India is playing important role in Asia Pacific region, or say Indo Pacific region. So this is the US perspective. Yeah, and the next one is implications to India, implications for India. Again here, now USA has told that it has concerns with India Russia relationship. So what could be the probable impact on India? So now USA has openly criticized India's relationship with Russia. So what could be the probable impact? The probable impact could be the economic impact. Economic impact means USA might impose sanction, but however, this is highly unlikely, because India is a big emerging market. US wants to sell their products and services in India, so it's highly unlikely. But however, we might get some threats regarding the economic sanctions. And again here, security challenges is the dependence on Russia's defense equipments. And now Russia's economy is also not growing, so it's more or less stagnant. And again, in case Russia stops the supply, this will affect India's defense imports. And again, diplomatic tightrope is that we have to balance between Russia and the western pass, or the western pass, or US. So these are the implications for India. So this is what happened. So let us see what happens now. If you see today's article also, there won't be much implication as such from USA, because India is an emerging market. So there won't be much implication. But however, USA has vocally told that it is not in favor of India Russia relationship. So this is what US has declared. So now let us solve this question. Okay, so B is the answer. Okay, yeah. Okay, now let us take up the next article. Simple article. Nowadays, UPSC is asking the military exercises in the prelims examination. So one military exercise that is ongoing. It's still ongoing. So till July 15th, they are conducting that military exercises. Exercise joint exercise Maitri. So what is this Maitri? So it is a joint military exercise between India and Thailand. So joint military exercise between India and Thailand. So what exactly are we doing in this military exercise? So the military exercise in the sense this Maitri exercise. So what exactly is this Maitri exercise? This is a biennial joint military exercise in the sense once in 2 years. Every 2 years, it is not an yearly one. So it is not an annual military exercise. This is conducted once in 2 years. Please focus this, not an annual one, conducted once in 2 years. So it is conducted once in 2 years. So between your Indian army and the Thailand army. So this is the basics about this that is a joint military exercise Maitri. Again, what is the aim that we are indulging? The aim is that focus on counter insurgency, or say counter terrorism operations, jungle warfare and urban warfare. What do you mean by urban warfare? Warfare means if there's any terror activities in urban area, how do we neutralize them? So you would have seen this 26/11, right? 26/11 Mumbai attack. So in that, if there's any such Mumbai attack, or say urban terror elements entering into urban areas, how do we neutralize them? So that is called as a urban warfare. So in this joint military exercise, that is Operation Maitri, so we'll be focusing on counter-insurgency or counter-terrorism operations, jungle and urban warfare. That is the best practices that Indian Army has regarding this one. That is counter-terrorism, jungle and urban warfare will be shared to Thailand Army, and Thailand Army's best practices will be shared to India. So again, what is the advantage? What advantage is that promotes military cooperation, interoperability, and camaraderie. So camaraderie in the sense the brotherhood, kind of a brotherhood. So it promotes a brotherhood. So promotes military cooperation. So military cooperation in the sense in future if there is any war, so if this military can easily cooperate, so that is your joint military cooperation. So why this Maitri is important? Shared security concern, that is both India and Thailand have similar security issues. So be it terrorism, counter-terrorism, terror activities, or say illegal warfare taking place in the region, or say internal security issues are common. So internal security issue is also common in India, it's also common in Thailand. So we have a shared security concern. And the next one is strategic partnership. So if see here, if any countries indulges in joint military exercises, it means that these two countries are a very close partner. Only then we can have a joint military exercise. Say India and Pakistan will not have a joint military exercise because we are not a close, or we are not a friendly country. India and China will not have a joint military exercise as such because we are not a friendly country. So if we are having a joint military exercise, it means that our military strategies will be shared to Thailand, and Thailand's best practice will be shared to India. So we are a close ally. So it shows that it will enhance the a friendship between these two countries. And again here, military, that is strategic, it will enhance the strategic partnership. And again here, promote regional stability in the sense, so in Southeast Asia region, so if both the countries, if there is any issues, these two countries can work together in order to ensure regional stability. So what are the benefits of this Maitri, that is the joint military exercise Maitri? That is sharing the best practices. So what are the best practices that Indian Army have? will be shared to Thailand army, and what are the best practices the Thailand army has, that will be shared to India. So that's a good thing. And again, enhance interoperability. Interoperability means in the sense, so the equipments of Indian army can be used in can be will can be used by Thailand army, and the Thailand army equipments can be used by Indian army. And again, interoperability, that is both the countries, both the armies can have a very good coordination. So that is the meaning of enhanced interoperability. So, and again, it would create strong bonds between the military. At the military level, it will create a strong bond because they are sharing each other's best practices. So again, it will create a strong bond. And again, confidence building measures, that is again confidence building measures in the sense, in case of any contingency, in case of any emergency, so we could get the mutual support, or say support from the Thailand army, or say if Thailand army has some issues, Indian army can support that. So these are the confidence building measures will be there. These are the benefits of Operation Maitri, or say joint military exercise Maitri. Conclusion is that, yeah, these kind of exercises, like exercise Maitri, is very important for military cooperation between India and Thailand. So if there is a military cooperation, it automatically means that at strategic level also we can be a very close friend. So again, here both armies will share the skills and coordination needed for tackling the security threats. Again, it will strengthen the partnership. So this is the basic thing that you had to learn about your about the joint military exercise Maitri. Fine. So now let us take up, it's a simple concept. Okay. So now let us take up one prelims question on this exercise, that is joint military exercise Maitri. I think this year the joint military exercise Maitri is conducted in Thailand. So yeah, I think this point was left out. It was conducted in Thailand, not in India. Yeah. Okay. So this statement is wrong. Statement number three is wrong. This year, the joint military exercise of, that is a Maitri military exercise Maitri, is conducted in Thailand, not in India. Fine. Okay. So statement three is wrong. So again, the first one is not annual. So it is once in 2 years. So statement one is wrong. So the answer is B. Got it? Any doubt over here? Okay, fine. So chala, let us go to the next one again here. So this is another important concept, so Malabar exercise. But however, we should also learn there's something called as a quad. So quad is a regional grouping of 4 countries. So which are the 4 countries? Quad is a regional grouping of 4 countries. Which are the 4 countries? So that is your India, India, and what else? India. Next. Not UK. Okay, it is Japan. Okay, common. It is Japan. Okay, USA, India, Japan, and Australia. Okay, good. Okay, India gets up to the gets up for Malabar showdown with Quad allies amid rising China's tension. So it is from the last, say, if you consider, say, last 6 months to 1 year, China is notorious in the Indo-Pacific region in terms of its expansion. So China wants to increase its influence in Indian Ocean region, China wants to increase its influence in the South China Sea, and in the last class we saw that what China is doing in the South China Sea. So China is militarizing the South China Sea, and China is in Indian Ocean. China is also becoming close ally of many of the countries, and it has started militarizing the Indian Ocean also. So China is notorious for all these reasons. So in order to ensure freedom of navigation, please see here, in order to ensure freedom of navigation in the region, see, freedom of navigation is very important for free trade, free movement of trade. So if there is no freedom of navigation, so the free movement of trade would get affected. So freedom China in so freedom of navigation is very important in this Indo-Pacific region. But however, due to China's militarization of in the South China Sea, or say China's increased China's influence in Indian Ocean region, so it is threatening the freedom of navigation in this part. So in this context, we have operation, that is it's a military exercise, Malabar. So this Malabar exercise is mainly between India and US, but however, even the Quad partners, so that is your Japan, Australia, will also join this one. So that is your Malabar exercise. Like how this joint exercise Maitri was between your India and Thailand, this Quad, that is a Malabar exercise, is between your India, US, Japan, and Australia. So the main reason for this Quad, that is now Malabar exercise, is that in order to assert our dominance, in order to assert the dominance of Quad countries in this Indo-Pacific region, because because China is increasing its influence in Indo-Pacific region, these Quad countries wants to assert their dominance. If these Quad countries will not assert its dominance in the Indo-Pacific region, China will become a leader. And China is notorious in controlling the region and militarizing it. So China, these countries, that is Quad countries, are say India, US, Australia, Japan, doesn't want China to control the region. So in order to assert our dominance, we have this operation Malabar, sorry, joint exercise Malabar. So what exactly is this Malabar exercise? So this year we will be conducting in Bay of Bengal. So sometimes Malabar exercise is also conducted in the Pacific Ocean, so near South China Sea. So it's also conducted near Australia. It's also because it's a four countries are there, right? US, China, sorry, US, India, Japan, and Australia. So sometimes it's conducted in Pacific Ocean, sometimes it's conducted in India. So in Indian Ocean. So this year we are conducting Malabar exercise in Bay of Bengal. So in order to assert the influence, of these Quad countries in Indian Ocean region. So it's conducted in Bay of Bengal, and it's in October. That is India. Yeah, and the participants are so these are the Quad countries. Again here, the focus is that is complex surface maneuvers, anti-air drills, joint tactile exercise. These are not required, but however, the main crux of why we are conducting Malabar exercise is that to assert the influence in the Indian Ocean region. Again here, this year Malabar exercise will focus more on anti-submarine warfare. So anti-submarine warfare, the reason why we are focusing on anti-submarine warfare is that, so some time back, this China, so what China did was China brought their submarine into Indian Ocean, and they docked it near Sri Lanka. So submarine, so it was highly shocking to everyone. So how can China bring their submarine very close to India? So again, it was noticed, and later on, China told that they didn't give any concrete explanation as such. So as a reason, this year, that is Malabar exercise, will be focusing on anti-submarine warfare drill. So the reason why we are focusing on anti-submarine warfare drill is that to give a message to China that we are equipped with this anti-submarine warfare drill. If you bring your submarine, so we have the power, or say we have the technology, or say we have the tactics to control your submarine. So that's what we'll be showcasing to the world, mainly to China. So that is what we'll be doing in this Malabar exercise that will be conducted in October this year. Again here, so why Malabar is more important now than ever, than the previous times. It is because the rising tension, this China is becoming very aggressive in South China Sea and in Indian Ocean. In South China Sea, this China is troubling Japan, it is troubling USA, because of, and it is affecting the freedom of navigation. And China is kind of has kind of militarized the South China Sea. This is affecting Japan. In India, China is bringing submarines into Indian Ocean. This is affecting India. So China is aggressively expanding its influence in this region, and we have to control that. And again here, Quad Alliance wants to showcase the unity and resolve and take a resolution in maintaining freedom of navigation in Indo-Pacific region. See, Indo-Pacific region doesn't belong to anyone. This is a high sea. But what China is doing, it's militarizing it. And we don't like this. We, in the sense, India, US, Japan, Australia don't like the militarization because it affects our trade, it affects our freedom of navigation. So, but China is doing this. So, in order to give a message to China, we are conducting this the anti-submarine warfare drill this year, and again deterring the aggression. In the sense, if these four countries come together and show our a might, that is show our military might, it will deter China in taking any military in any militarization of the region. So Quad Alliance, a simple overview about your Quad Alliance. It's a strategic partnership. Again, all these four countries, that is your US, India, Japan, and Australia, have a common values, that is democracy. So all these four countries are democratic country, rule of law is being maintained, and these four countries wants freedom of navigation in Indo-Pacific region. So that is the basic, that is the shared values. That is all these four countries have the shared values. And again, all these four countries have a common concern. That is, the main concern is the China's aggression. China is militarizing Indo-Pacific region, which these countries don't like. And again, military cooperation. For this military cooperation, operation, that is your joint exercise Malabar, is very important in order to assert ourselves, in order to assert our influence in this region, that is Indo-Pacific region. And again here, beyond military also we are thinking, that is in terms of your climate change, infrastructure, technology exchanges. But however, these are trivial one. But the main focus, the reason why Quad was formed, is to control the China's aggression, or say China's rise in the region. So we are okay, that is these countries are okay for a peaceful rise of China. But China will not be peaceful, that is for sure, because China is using all the illegal means by coercing other countries in order to get the project, or say damaging the environment, etc. So we, that is these countries, that is US, India, Japan, and Australia, doesn't want China to increase its influence in the region. So if you consider what exactly China is doing, is that China is increasing its assertiveness in South China Sea. In the last class, we saw how China is building artificial islands and controlling South China Sea, and China is also militarizing the South China Sea, and China is also increasing its influence in Indian Ocean. So China had brought its submarine near Sri Lanka. China is planning to bring their military into Maldives. So these are the plans that China is doing. Again, it is going to threat India's influence in the region. And the next one is that China is infamous for land border disputes. China has border disputes with almost all the countries in which are neighbors with China. So the main border dispute is with India. So again, in every aspect China is troubling in the region. So in order to control that, we that is these four countries have come together, and having a joint military exercise, that is your operation joint military exercise Malabar. So again, implications of this regional security, or say implication of this assertion of regional security through the joint military exercise Malabar, is that balancing power, that is Malabar. This is operation exercise Malabar will act as a counterweight to China's growing military influence in the region. And see, on one side, China is showing its military power. So these four countries are coming together in joint military exercise Malabar in order to show the power. Again, it will act as a deterrence to China. So that is, if these four countries show their military exercise, it will deter China, because we will show our capabilities. That is what we can do. And one of this is anti-submarine warfare. So the one of the reason why India is pitching for this anti-submarine warfare is that China brought their submarine next to India. So we are promoting, we want to showcase our powers of anti-submarine warfare this time. So that's what we are doing. And again, protecting the sea lanes of communication. So sea lanes of communication are the important trade routes in the region. So we want to maintain the freedom of navigation in Indo-Pacific region. That is, free trade should take place. So in order to ensure that, we are having that is joint military exercise Malabar. And the next one is promoting cooperation among these countries, among these four countries. So these are the implications of regional security. And again, here the conclusion is that India is playing a crucial role, because this time India is hosting this Malabar exercise. India's role is very crucial. On top of it, India has more. India will gain a lot from this Malabar exercise, because it is happening in Bay of Bengal. And Malabar exercise significance, that it is going to demonstrate the commitment of Quad for free and open Indo-Pacific region. So that is a freedom of navigation. And again, but however, the challenges are there. So despite having this Malabar exercise, the challenges still remain. China is still aggressive. Let us see what happens in the future. As of now, China is very much aggressive in Indian Ocean region, and also in South China Sea region. So this is the conclusion, and then let us take up one question. So yeah, so let us take up this question. Okay, so good. So the answer is B. Fine. Okay, so this was the end of today's discussion. So chalo then. So thank you guys. Good night.